Marine reacts to SCP-073, also known as Cain, by SCP Illustrated. And as always, I'm going to be leaving a link to the original channel and video down in the description below, so go ahead and check them out. Now, for these next few videos, I'm going to be reacting to, from what I understand, this one being Cain, Abel 343, which is essentially, from what I'm seeing, is supposed to be God, and then SCP-001 with the Gate Guardian, because they all kind of seem to correlate together as far as in the book of Genesis. So I'm very interested to see how exactly they're going to be classified as SCPs, what they're capable of, what they do with whatever type of containment breaches they may have been a part of, anything just in general that relates to them. So this might be a shorter video than normal, since I wasn't able to find a channel that had a longer version of an introduction to this SCP. And as always, make sure that you hit that like button. It really does help me out a lot. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell right there, that way you get notified every time I do upload. Been uploading twice a day sometimes, and usually work on them in the mornings and then edit them, and then that way by the time late afternoon, late evening, I'll put those videos out and you all can enjoy them after you get off work at your leisure. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started and see how the SCP's take on Cain from the book of Genesis is all about. Did I say death and murder at the bottom? Ooh.
Good day everyone, and welcome back to SCP Illustrated, entry log
Just up a little
104.
bit.
Today we're looking at SCP-073, also known as Cain, supposedly SCP-076's brother from the well-known story of
so he's
Cain.
Euclid.
Now, Sumin Chion is illustrating this one, so I hope you enjoy. This is a Euclid level SCP, and this video does contain some very minor violence. Without further ado, let's begin.
Ooh. Friendly environment risk.
The following data release has been authorized by the following council members and administration
Steamy.
staff.
Oh, they kind of made this like into a manga.
SCP-073 appears to be a heavily tanned male of Arabic or Middle Eastern descent in his early 30s, 185 centimeters tall and 75 kilograms, with black hair and blue eyes. Arms, legs, spinal cord, and shoulder blades of the subject
does he have futuristic like
have been replaced
stuff
with
on
artificial versions of an unknown make and metal. Subject only takes notice of this when it is pointed out, and states that it has no knowledge of how, why, or when these replacements took place, stating it has had them for as long as it could remember. There is a symbol engraved into the
probably
forehead
go to
of
the
the
future
subject,
somehow, maybe?
which appears to be of Sumerian origin. Symbol has of yet been untranslated, and subject appears distressed when the symbol is mentioned at all, refusing to speak on it. Subject does need to eat and drink on a regular basis, but is strictly carnivorous owing to its effects on plant-based items. SCP-073,
doesn't really have a choice in that aspect,
to itself as Cain, is generally polite and genial to all who speak to it, though it has been described as being cold and somewhat mechanical in its speech. It is very helpful and enjoys aiding personnel in their daily actions, whatever they may be. It has highly detailed knowledge of ancient to recent events in history, and most commonly
wasn't he the one that killed Abel
in the world, including ones that have since died out. Subject has professed to having a photographic memory,
I would assume that he would be a little more
text
malicious.
in an 800-page dictionary that was flicked through in a minute and a half. It has scored above average in all intelligent tests given to it. SCP-073's presence is inimical to any and all life grown in soil, causing death to any such life within a 20-meter radius. Any land SCP-073 has walked on, and any within the 20-meter radius, becomes barren as all anaerobic bacteria dies, rendering the soil incapable.
Considering he was a farmer, right? And he offered, the story was that he offered his fruits or vegetables or something to God, but it was rejected.
Life, such as wood and paper, immediately rots and disintegrates upon touch of SCP-073.
He's probably cursed.
Further affected derivatives include anything hydroponically grown. Violence directed towards SCP-073 reflects any damage inflicted on SCP-073 directly back onto the attacker, although SCP-073
so he remains unharmed.
unharmed.
physically,
This
but can he
applies to
feel the
any
pain?
damage directed at SCP-073. Attempts to get tissue and blood samples have proven futile. When the procedure was initiated, personnel carrying out the action felt the sensation of whatever was applied to SCP-073
Because it's
and
technically
wound up with a
considered like
sample of their own
injuring them,
blood
so
or
they would feel it.
tissue, despite the fact that all actions were directed
Or his
solely
legs amputated?
at SCP-073.
His left leg is like just pure
Indirect
mechanical.
damage through a medium also results in the person perpetrating the action receiving the wounds caused. Although SCP-073 receives no actual harm from damage to its person,
Oh, so it does feel the
has
pain.
stated that it still feels the pain of the action, and has politely asked
This guy
researchers
seems like a
to abstain
protagonist
from
character
only
in
harmful
anime.
actions to its person. Additional notes. SCP-073 was found in the New York Police Department in having been taken in after subject had been found amidst the bodies of several violent gang members.
So within the past 120 years, then, at least.
SCP-073 told police members that the gang had attempted to make sport of it, but became angry and attempted to kill SCP-073, resulting in their own demise. SCP-073 was incarcerated and was deemed a John Doe, when NYPD could not find any information on it. SCP-073 came to the attention of the Foundation for a routine inspection of John Does, and was subsequently released into our custody.
So they routinely go for people who
Special
are John
containment
Does.
procedures. SCP-073 is to be kept in a 2-room cell furnished with all non-organic furniture and items and a bathroom. Subject is allowed to freely wander the facility and eat in the main
So
canteen.
is he? I wonder. Is he one of the SCPs that they actually work with?
SCP-073's person and is not to be removed. Subject is disallowed any contact with the surface and is not allowed outside the facility. Subject is allowed no contact with plant-based SCPs under any circumstances. Violence is not to be used against SCP-073 under any circumstances.
I wonder what kind of plant-based SCPs there are.
SCP-073 is currently kept in Site-17. Addendum 073-1. In light of SCP-073's indestructible nature, photographic memory, and general will to please,
Can they X-ray him?
High Command have deemed that all information is to be backed up on SCP-073, ensuring it is not lost in the event of a catastrophe. While this action has met with mixed responses, SCP-073 has agreed and sworn itself to secrecy on its part. Addendum 073-2.
I feel like they're doing the whole switch
when
around.
Information concerning SCP-076 was brought to the
I'll
attention
explain
of
at the end.
SCP-073 for backing up, subject showed familiarity with the information, although was disinclined to adding to it, despite the fact that it stated that it already knew all about SCP-076.
I do know
It
that
then
76
stated
is
it
supposed to
would
be
better
Abel,
for all
and he looks
parties
a lot
involved
more evil
that it not meet SCP-076. Addendum 073-3. Examination of the unidentified metal on SCP-073 has suggested that it is beryllium bronze, a metal that has been documented as being utilized by various anomalous cultures and entities. Most notably, beryllium bronze is a component found in SCP-1216, 1427, 2481,
Now I gotta figure out what
and
these SCPs are.
2711. In light of this new discovery, the Foundation began working in an attempt to trace the origin of beryllium bronze and how it initially spread throughout the world. When prompted, SCP-073 was able to provide information that suggests that beryllium bronze originated in the Middle East, though the exact point of origin has yet to be determined.
But I thought he didn't know where
Further
he got
research into
the
origin of beryllium
mechanical
bronze
pieces
is
himself.
currently ongoing.
He just said he always had them.
And that concludes SCP-073. I hope you
Alright, let's
enjoyed
go ahead and talk about that for a minute. So, first things first. I have seen a picture of SCP-076, but I haven't actually seen the video. But the way he looked in it looked very evil and malicious. So, and what I remember from the stories growing up through the Bible and this yellow book that every Mexican had was essentially that sheep, I believe it was, to God, and then Cain was offering his vegetables. The vegetables were rejected. In turn, Abel's gift was accepted, so Cain got jealous, killed Abel, killed his brother, and then you would assume, or at least I assumed, that Cain was going to be kind of like a dick in the SCP universe. But from what I've seen, the way he looks, and just from this in general, and then the way that Abel actually looks, it looks like they switched him. Like, as in terms, like, you would think Cain would be the dick, but he's not. You think Abel would be the nice guy, like the good guy, but he doesn't seem like he's gonna be it. Just seeing from his picture alone. Also, when they say that they found him in the 1900s at some point, they didn't give the year, the exact date. What exactly was he doing? Has he been alive this whole time? Was he in some kind of cryogenic stasis? Like he just immediately woke up? It doesn't really specify that, because then I don't remember them asking him any questions about, like, well, how long have you been alive, or like anything of that sort. So they can kind of pinpoint a time where he was born, in a sense. And then the fact that if he was alive for all this time and it wasn't in some kind of like stasis, why haven't the SCP Foundation found him beforehand, right? Also, with this metal that they say that he has on him, is it around his body, or is it literally arm chopped off, robot arm? Is it cybernetic, or is it just 100% mechanical in the parts that he does have that metal on? And he did mention that he knew the type of metal came from the Middle East, but he did say that he didn't even know where all the parts he had came from, that he just always had them. So there's different reasons, a lot of questions. I want to see, because he said that he knew about 76, his brother Abel, right? So I want to see what would happen if they actually ended up meeting officers out there. So, but I'm trying to go in order so that way I can get a little good backstory as to what they're capable of. Overall, though, he seems like a genuinely good guy. They say that he helps people around the Foundation. He has no issue being there. He's even offered to keep himself secret. Alright, so as always, if you want to see what reactions are up next, if you made it this far, go ahead and check the description down below. I'm going to be posting the next 5 videos in order of how and when I'll be reacting to them. And before we go, don't forget to hit that like button if you liked it. Dislike if you didn't like it. It really does help me improve the channel. Subscribe, hitting the notification bell so you do get updated every single time I do upload. And until then, I'll see you all in the next reaction video. Bye.